Welcome to Tennis Sucks, a pickleball podcast by Travis Rettenmeyer and Graham D'Amico. This week, we answer questions submitted by our listeners on the Pickleball Tour Wars, including, where the heck is the APP? Plus, Graham comes up with a rather interesting name for our fans. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Tennis Sucks Pod. We're here this is unique for us, on a Saturday morning. More packed than even night times, we're finding out, here at Crescent Lake. But special extra pod this week because of all that's going on with MLP and PPA, the Tour Wars, as they may say, and now maybe APP mixed in there.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Anyone know? I have no fucking clue.
Great, this is going to go well.
All I know is...
I just saw like some posts about a merger there, and I was like, whoa. Like Herman talking to Kuhn, memes of pickleball posted. That's all I know about that one. So I'm not up to date. But I
think that's what we know, is that Steve Kuhn was at the APP this week talking with Ken Herman.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Before we jump right into the topic, though, we have to congratulate our winner of our MLP Smash hat.
Oh, Travis, you're going to love this. Guess the name of the guy who won the giveaway for the tie-dye Smash hat.
Jay Lassard.
No, you don't know him.
Oh, I don't know him?
That's
really hard to guess his name.
The guy's handle is Chance Happenstance.
That's amazing.
Luckiest guy.
Chance Happenstance.
Congrats, Chance Happenstance, on winning our first ever giveaway.
Yep.
Okay.
So
that's awesome. Congratulations, buddy.
And we're going to follow that up with another giveaway. We've got some MLP tickets.
Did we approve this?
Yeah.
Did the budget go up? Did we suddenly get a sponsor I don't know about? Where Sunday Swagger giving us more money than I remember?
We've got MLP tickets to give away.
Yeah, we got them. We're good.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Julio, you got that right. Least you can do now, motherfucker.
No.
Well, we'll figure the details out. Just go check our Instagram.
So two MLP tickets. That's only in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
to Atlanta.
If you're in the Atlanta area.
Even if you're not, fly in.
Yeah, fly in. It's a cheap flight. You know, like I looked them up, $100, $150, good.
And those MLP tickets are getting expensive.
Yes,
I think they're running like $35 a day or something now. Wow. And we're giving away the whole week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah. So get in while you can.
All right, cool. I like that. Yeah, let's give more away. Just what we need to do.
All right, so before we aired this episode, we asked people to submit questions.
On that topic.
Go ahead.
So I was having this debate the other day because we had a bunch of people come out and attack us on our last pod in the comments.
Okay.
And so I thought, all right, I need to contact some friends and have them go dispute those comments. But we need a name for our fans, like the Beliebers or the Swifties.
Yeah, I like Beliebers. I'm a Justin Bieber fan, so.
All that Luke and I could come up with, because of Tennis Sucks podcast, is the Suckers. How do you feel about How do you feel about our fan base being known as the Suckers?
That's all right.
All right, Suckers, get in those comments. Come on, don't let.
Wait, what were the comments? Give me one really quick.
It was just a lot of pro PPA MLP sucks.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but that's like, come on, that's probably like implanted there.
That's what I'm saying. We need the Suckers to come in and plant back.
Anyone who actually thinks that that's legit, it's the stupidest. It's like the Selkirk article that came out, like that people prefer the PPA tour. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If you talk to anybody who's played minor league, any player that's played MLP, it's like universal. Literally 98% say that MLP is better.
You don't need to talk to them. The proof, we've got the proof.
Okay,
pro players are taking less money to play MLP.
Correct.
30 to 50% discounts.
Yes.
Saying I prefer MLP, and rightly so. It's a much better product, you know?
It's a much better product, like that Engage that Connor's using now. Are you allowed to use that? Oh shit! Hey, sorry guys.
That on camera.
It's on camera. You're already screwed.
Don't worry. He puts it in a Selkirk bag.
He puts it in a Selkirk bag. He wears a Legends
hides
shirt.
It under his Selkirk shirt.
Uh-oh, he's so scared now. He's just trying it. He wanted to know, like, suddenly he's like, you got third, Travis? You suck. How'd that happen? Okay, anyway.
All right, yeah, so we got some questions from people to help guide our conversation. A lot of it about the drama that's happening this weekend. So if you want, we can just dive right into it.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
I can't believe we have fans that take the time to send us questions. This is impressive.
You don't believe in the suckers, Graham?
I do now.
Okay.
Yeah. Way to go, suckers.
All right, so I think this one, we kind of started this conversation. Where does the APP fit into all this? Yeah, just generally, what is going on with the APP and all this stuff?
Graham, you handle this. I'm a moron.
I like it. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Steve is savage, man. Steve Kuhn's a savage.
Oh, that's for sure.
Right?
Yep.
And he's at the APP. He's looking at all his options.
Yep.
Finding out what we approached the APP once before, didn't work out. Almost didn't quite. Then obviously we merged with PPA, and they understood, APP understood why we had to do that. But now that the merge is not happening, we're back to talking to the APP because maybe we feel like they'll be good partners in some way.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, I can't imagine what the angle is, but I'm sure there is one, and that's why Steve is Steve and I'm me.
That's funny. So, but we saw Steve at the APP event, so obviously he's ruffling feathers by doing that, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, Memes of Pickleball picked it up right away. I love it. It's like a photo op of Steve at APP. No, I mean, honestly, I've met Ken Herman a handful of times. Extremely nice guy.
Very nice guy, yes.
The guy is, and he's like Steve, he's there for the players' benefit. Like, he's the guy that's going and grabbing waters when he sees a pro is hot on the court, and like bringing it to him. So that's
nice.
That's the kind of owner you want to have, especially if you're a player. It cares about the well-being of his pros and amateurs, both. See, that's the other thing about Ken, and maybe that's the angle, is they have a lot of goodwill with amateur pickleball. Right. People prefer APP amateur events over PPA.
Well, it's why they became the Association of Pickleball Players, not of professionals. They wanted to cater to,
So maybe there's something there, the amateur angle, maybe there's some merge with minor league pickleball and APP but it's exciting. It's exciting to see Steve, making sure to build as many bridges as possible and open up as many opportunities as possible. It's smart.
And in terms of the players that were drafted, did a lot of APP players come over into those contracts?
Yes.
You saw? So did they
Harris Todd, the Johnson brothers. There's quite a few APP players.
Yeah,
Shelby
a lot.
Bates,
Simone. Jargine, that's a big one.
If you are having good results on the APP this year, you likely got a contract.
Right.
And, and the other thing too that MLP, I'm pretty sure of in their contracts, and you would know this better than I, you're allowed to play any event you want.
Correct.
I think it has to be like MLP approved, but MLP is not like PPA. We are going to approve everything.
Right.
Unless there's some really strange outstanding circumstance that go ahead. Yeah, go play other events. As long as you take care of your contractual obligations to MLP, by all means, go get as much practice and exposure as you can as a pro player.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Got it. So we'll probably see a lot of the MLP signed players in APP Tour, but not much of the PPA in the APP anymore. I
didn't catch that.
You're going to see a lot of the signed MLP players playing APP events, but not a lot of the PPA players probably playing APP
I don't think you'll
or
see
MLP
the
events.
PPA players playing anything outside of PPA. That's always been their stance, is you play there exclusively. I even wanted to do almost like a charity exhibition type thing, and I was told no, that I can't play it because it was competing, and it was like, it's really not, but. I wasn't going to argue it.
And the PPA is a pretty rigorous schedule. I think
Very.
they're cutting back a little bit. I think they're 16.
Not.
Oh no,
16 events and 6 vibe events. That's 22 events. That's going to be that's a lot of work.
So if you've got to at least do all of those, and there's other PPAs you could play if you wanted to, I feel like it's unlikely you're going to see a PPA player saying, "Yeah, give me some more. I haven't had enough. I haven't destroyed my body enough this year."
Right.
Right.
Wild. One of this question says, how many pros will finally move out of their parents' houses?
All of them.
Are you moving out?
I don't have parents, Graham. They're
Oh,
dead.
that was, man.
That's a terrible joke.
Terrible joke.
But you tried. It's okay. I take no offense.
That's supposed to be the opener for the segment.
Yeah. It's Grandma's house now. I think one of them is still alive somewhere. But anyway, obviously, the majority of them now can. And there was actually a comment on this on another pod yesterday that what it really does is going to elevate the game because a lot of maybe mid-level players, me included, that were worried about finances to some extent or didn't feel like they could practice or train the way that they wanted to are now going to have that ability to invest in themselves a little bit and raise their game to the next level. And I think you're going to see, the depth continue to grow. And there's so many quality players now on the MLP roster that you're going to see a lot of players that, they're secure enough to say, hey, I get to play pickleball full time. And, you're going to see a rapid increase in players' ability because they're able to focus on it.
Yeah, they have access to more resources now, right?
Correct.
They can afford the trainers and the vision coaches and the cold tubs.
Yes, just in general, they can wake up and think, how do I become a better pickleball player? Where before it was maybe like, I really want to play some pickleball, but I got to make some money.
So if you're a personal trainer or start getting into pickleball, because there's now money where you're gonna start seeing teams around almost every player now. I would assume every event you go to, you're gonna see maybe a small team start to be a part of more of the top pros.
No, that won't happen.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not?
Because trainers on the road don't do anything. That's a waste of money.
Is it?
100%.
You're talking about Connor right now?
Listen, I'm not going to name names. We've had these conversations. The training is done when you are at home and you're practicing. You can have an easy, like if it's a team, let's say we have, an MLP event and we have 4 players, that's different. That's getting everyone organized, everyone together. But if you're a singular player, and especially on these salaries for the majority of these players, you're not going to bring a trainer with you. There's probably 5, 6, 7 players that could still genuinely afford that and make it worthwhile to them. But no, majority of the time, a PT is far more valuable. Someone who does massage, injury prevention.
But we offer that at MLP already anyway.
Yeah, but it's not personalized, which makes a huge difference. It's just Dr. C, who's fantastic. But I'm saying, like, if you're going to spend your money, you're generally not going to spend it on someone that you're going to go to the track with, lift weights with, because you're not doing that on the road anyway.
All right. Well, I said a team. I didn't say specifically what they were going to be, but I think you're going to see more
trainers.
people traveling or being at events for players, since there's more money to be spent on those people, even if it's a group.
Yeah,
say it's a group of 4 people that want to.
I think it'll be slight because people don't want to save their money. Yeah, there's just not enough money. It's so much money to travel with someone.
Even on the PPA, then you don't think you'll see?
There'll be four players like that.
Okay.
5 players like that.
All right.
You think AJ Kohler suddenly is going to have a team players around him?
I could see AJ doing something like that.
You see Thomas Wilson suddenly showing up with a group? I don't see it. Thomas Wilson showing up with his wife and his kid. AJ showing up with a beer in his hand and fucking no logic.
I could see people maybe investing more in their personal brands now, though.
Yes,
They're
going to invest in their
full
brands.
time to make videos,
social media, a camera following them around now instead.
Well,
that's
more likely.
That's more valuable. Yeah.
All
but
right.
people will be training at home a lot harder. That I'll tell you.
So, do you think that MLP will have singles and doubles? Like, are they going to do a tour themselves then, I guess, is the question here?
I believe so. I believe there's going to be some individual events. Last I heard it was 8. But that could change. The question is this has always been a huge problem to me in pickleball. A lot of it is like click-based, so I don't think you really get the best players in the ranking list. And what I mean by that is if you have a great partner, then you're instantly touted as a great player, which necessarily isn't the case. So it's really hard to measure what a player's true value or true worth really is. And I think that's going to be the point I'm trying to make here is I don't think Steve is going to allow that. Like, let's say that the 2 best players we have were Tyson and Riley. He's not just going to say, Tyson and Riley, you guys go play together. It's going to be randomized so that you really get to see who's the best on the right, who's the best on the left, who deals better with various personalities, and see what happens. And so, yeah, I think there will be events.
Do you like that? Are you glad they're doing that?
Of course, I love that. I mean, you know my feeling on this.
Does Tyson and Riley like that?
I have no idea. That's not for me to say. I mean, I would think based on Riley's results where he got to choose his partners recently, he's probably thinking, fuck, randomize it, because he can't choose it. He just got lucky with Matt. Yeah, I like that because I think that, and I'm going to use myself an example. I think if you have had maybe partners that aren't to the same pedigree as JW and Dylan, you can't have those results. I don't care how fucking good you are. Maybe Ben is the lone guy that could do it, but yeah, I think this equals the playing field, and you're going to see really the true cream of the crop rise, as opposed to, 2 very, very good players playing together against maybe 1 very good player and 1 average player. Like, how does that work?
So they're going to randomize every event who they play.
We don't know what
we don't
they're
know.
doing. So now,
but
here's
that has always been an idea of Steve's.
Yeah.
It's unfair that like Ben and Annalie play together. You don't get to see.
Got it.
So the talk right now is, is eight MLP events, right? And it'll be 2 seasons again, 4 events with a final, and then 4 more events with a final. So those are your 8-team events.
Yep.
And then what you want to call is 8 tour events, right? Which is the APP or PPA format where you're playing mixed doubles, doubles, and singles. Obviously, we're going to become our own full tour, so that's part of it. And I think Travis is right in that more than likely Steve's vision is to see it where we're seeing different matchups all the time. And that's like some of the magic of MLP is you're getting to see matchups that you don't get to see otherwise. Right. Why would we not continue that same feel in our regular tour events?
Got it.
And so maybe, you'll see Travis play with Riley for once, which would be fun.
That would be really fun.
Yeah. Or with JW again, where they basically went undefeated.
And I'm a much better player. I was very new then still.
So, so that's exciting to know that you're going to week in and week out when you come to watch an MLP event, you're going to see different matchups, different winners, different gold medal and, bronze medal matches.
Will we see the same production value like in the tour event style as the MLP event is so exciting to watch? I mean, are they going to bring that same style, you think, or is it possible to do that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same producers, right? I'm guessing boxcar, on retainer, but yeah, I would imagine, wouldn't you, Travis, that it's going to be the same production value for tour events and MLP events?
It's going to get
better. Yeah, I mean,
they're gonna invest as much as they can to make this product as good as it can be, because it took a huge leap of faith signing all these players. And I think that they're going to go all in on product development to ensure that it looks great for sponsors and for television. And I'd be shocked if you didn't see an improvement in value.
Well, they do, but presumably no amateur events at the same time. So this is really more of a spectator.
No, it'll be pro. It'll be pro only. Yeah. I know the venue's already looking at. They basically are trying to find 16 court indoor facilities. So if you have a great 16 plus indoor court facility, give MLP a call. They're interested to bring, one of our events to your city.
I actually have one. I got to bring that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, next question is, will the PPA players jump ship? Will it force PPA to truly and honestly negotiate with MLP?
I think, yes. I think already there's been, we've seen kind of the comments of the PPA is willing to honor the original agreement or the original merge. I don't think MLP is interested in that. There's, I think, been kind of a lack of trust in that actually happening. But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be talks between PPA and MLP in the future. It's just probably going to be on different terms than it was the first time around, is my guess.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, the terms would have to be heavily favoring MLP at this point. So many players switched over to MLP for various reasons. My favorite one at the moment is Zane Navratil. If you guys are following him, he's pretty funny. I got to give him a lot of credit there. So we'll see. We'll see what. At some point, there's no doubt in my mind that all the players will be under the same umbrella again. How that happens, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's what we want. In the end, that's what we want, is to see all the players taken care of and all of the best players playing each other in one location.
Right.
That's the goal. We want to provide the best content possible for pickleball, and to do that, you've got to have all the best players.
Got a lot of good ones.
We're close. Yeah. We're almost there.
Yeah. Our buddy Joe asked, are most of the PPA signees real people or just AI generated avatars?
Well, how about they signed the hype? Did you see the one they signed the hype guys yesterday?
Signed the hype guys.
Memes of pickleball goes, I forgot I made this, but I didn't. This is actually real.
You know what we should have done? We should have hired Memes of Pickleball to make us a sign for the stilt people and sent it to Julio and Tim.
No, we don't want to reciprocate, do it what they're doing. Come on, man.
No, I'm saying for us to Julio would be a nice, the stilt guys.
Okay.
Who are the
Did the hype guys originally do MLP or they originally do PPA?
I have no clue.
Who discovered the hype guys?
I have no clue.
That's funny.
Are they real? Yes, they're real players. I think a lot of them are being grabbed from tennis. There's obviously some connections between the PPA and the tennis tour and former tennis pros or current tennis pros, and they're saying, hey, we can offer you more money than what you're currently making. Switch over to pickleball, and they're taking a chance that those people will be at some point good at pickleball.
And they will. They'll be good.
So I think last week, maybe we talked about this, but there's going to be a redraft for MLP or no?
It's still unknown. I actually talked to Steve about this. So basically what's happening in the next, hopefully, day or two, all the owners are going to get together and decide how they want to move forward with the first MLP event in September in Atlanta.
Yeah.
From my understanding, it's one of two things. We're playing it as it is, under the understanding that those PPA signed players now for 2024 still have a contract to play MLP for 2023, and that they'll, come and play MLP. The other option is we don't trust that that's actually going to happen and that they are going to show up because they maybe have some loyalty to PPA, and so therefore we would have to do a redraft of both Challenger and Premier, but that's up for the owners to decide. And I have a feeling we're having that vote and decision here really soon. So hopefully have that answer next week for you.
Yeah.
But it's one of the two. It's either a redraft or we're playing MLP as it was going to be played originally with all the PPA players showing up like their contract says.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, this question follows on from that then. It's like when you have a redrafting generally format for MLP, how do people get excited about teams when it's like they're constantly changing? Like, do you think that it would be better if the team sort of stayed
That's
static?
changing very soon.
Well, that's why we're contracting all these players.
Right.
That's part of it.
Yeah. You'll be able to see. You'll see people playing for a team for 3-4 years. It'll look much more like a normal professional league, and that's what's going to take place. It won't be what you've seen the last 2 years. That's going to go away. That was almost by necessity, but it won't be that way.
Yeah, and my understanding is for 2024, the player is going to get to choose where they want to go. Like,
Yeah,
granted, we choose who we want, but in the end, they can say, no, I'd rather play for somebody else.
I don't see how that's going to work. But if that's what they're saying, I've heard that. I just don't see how that works.
Yeah.
But yes, now you're going to have, since we have players under contract for 3 years, we can actually build teams that are more constant, not just for half a year, just
Right.
for a year. Maybe you have a player that loves you, you love them, you keep winning with them, and Irina Tereshchenko, and you have them for 3 years.
Yeah.
Why not? Why would you break up BLQK, or why would you break up Mad Drops if you're having success?
Right.
They wouldn't. They just
Put
keep
together
winning.
the squad. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other part of it is whether or not they align to cities, right? I think that people have talked about that before. Like, if you can cheer behind a state or a city that your team is kind of centered around. But I guess that's not really... There's some that happen to be named after states, but...
So we were actually the first ones to do that. Florida Smash was the first team that ever decided, hey, we want to do a location, not a business name. We didn't want to be, a Team Clean or a coffee company. We wanted to represent the people that play pickleball in our area. That was what was important to Travis and I. And so we're the Florida Smash. And after we did that and they thought about it long, it's like, that's a really good idea. And we switched all the names to cities. You are required now as a team owner to have a location involved with your name. And that's going to continue to grow now, like you just said, with us having players contracted and more long-term, we're going to keep pushing kind of, that idea of, again, Irina Tereshchenko or, not Julian Arnold. That's a bad example. Thomas Wilson plays for this city.
Right.
And build up his, brand around that city.
It's the only way that the league ever is profitable and works is you have to have stars in a certain region. And I don't mean that in terms of like, they're superstars. I just mean that they change the fabric of the community. They invest in the community. And I think in every other sport you've seen that. Pickleball will be no different. And I hope you see that soon, because nothing would make me happier than to see players out here doing whatever for St. Pete and other communities around the country.
Yeah, and a clarification is the players don't have to move to that city, because the events aren't going to all be in that city, right? If we're talking about 16 events per year, they're happening all over the country.
But it'll shift to home and away soon. Greg.
It's
within 24 months, and you're going to be not required, but
it makes sense.
You're going to move. You're going to move if there's 35 and you're there 18 matches day before and
But
day
I think
after.
there was some confusion in the contract negotiations, especially with some of the PPA players, that you're going to be required to move.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
heard
the
that.
case.
No,
If you've
no, it's
got
not the case.
family and you're in Naples and you love where you are, then you can just choose to travel to that city for those 60 days a year and be there. But yeah, we really want to build community around these players. So if, we pick up Riley Newman or Travis Rettenmeyer, we're expecting that there's going to be some community involvement where they go out and do some exhibitions, do some corporate events, and, do some charity stuff with kids clinics, whatever that might be in part of your contract, and build the community and your fan base around you for that city. Right. 100%. Just like they do in NBA, just like they do in every sport, major sport.
All right, next question comes from Pickleball J. I still want to know who the guys in the logo are.
Lassard, why are you always causing problems?
Yeah, seriously. What's up with this guy?
What the fuck? Is it because of the dick shot that you got on the Nasty Nelson? I'm sorry. It was an accident, okay? It was just the tip, just for a second. You're fine.
I know Jay's never going to admit this, but he is 100% a sucker. He's probably the number one sucker, I would think, at Crescent Lake.
I think Jay is very supportive. And Jay, you just bring as much shit as you want to, buddy. Okay? I live in the trenches of shit.
Wow. Well.
Wow. Thanks, Luke.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Big Five going MLP. I think that's an important topic to cover.
Yeah, boy. It seemed like it was split there for a while. JW, Georgia, Gabe, Dylan, and Milan, that they were going to go to different locations. And really happy to see them all stay together. If I had to wager, which Graham stated, I would think Georgia had a ton of input here. I don't think anyone's enjoyed MLP as much as her. I certainly know that it was growing and growing on JW as time progressed. But this was a huge win. There was a lot of uncertainty. But when these five came over for substantially less money on the offer sheet, it was like, wow, we have literally 90% of the best players in the world on our end, on MLP's end. And, you can argue that Dylan and JW were on their way to being the best team in the world, having won, 2 out of the last 3 events. A huge win. Really happy to see that. And they all bring something so unique. Gabe is just becoming a total monster. Can't believe how much he's improved in the last 4 or 5 months. Guy keeps growing and keeps getting better. So I think of all the signings, Tyson was obviously huge, Riley was obviously huge, but this 5 together, in my mind, was the biggest one, especially given the timing of it, where they were both bidding so strongly for them, and those 5 came over.
Yeah, I'm going to take credit for the signings because I was nonstop on social media begging all of them to please come to MLP. And I think that's why they did it.
That makes perfect sense, Graham.
But I think I screamed out loud when I saw that we signed all of them, which was a total shock to me.
Yeah. It was a shock. You thought that they could go PPA?
I thought it was either all PPA or we'd get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That was my thought.
I did not think it was secure by any means. And then, another one, like a PPA loyalist, seeing Jesse Irvin come over, that was like, whoa.
And there wasn't a lot of talk about her. Why? They just expected she was going to PPA, but yeah, what another great signing, getting Jessie.
Yeah, I think Jessie hasn't had her best year ever, but she's been such a staple at the top of the game for the past few years, and then obviously she's been PPA through and through. So to see her switch over and feel like, these people that are switching over feeling like they're making the right decision for their careers long term is really cool to see. I texted Jessie right away, told her congratulations. It's going to be a great couple of years, and I think she's really excited about the prospect of not having days that end at 10 p.m. where you start at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. and actually having an organized, structured schedule, and so I think it's going to be really great to see all these players together.
Are there anybody you're still talking to, Graham? Trying to convince to come over at this point?
I mean, I definitely, love Catherine and Athena.
Love them.
So spend a lot of time just talking with them. I don't know, like begging them to come over, but just talking with them, seeing where they're at. But I think they're officially signed PPA.
Yep.
I think that's done with now, which is sad because they're great people and great competitors, and would have loved to have seen Catherine come over.
Did you guys see that PPA put out their first event in December, their first Vibe event?
Yeah.
On the front of it was AJ, the man, Kohler, and Catherine. So that'll be interesting. It's at Mandalay Bay. Odd venue. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
What's wrong with Mandalay Bay?
Nothing. We were there last year. It's just a huge convention center.
Oh, okay.
It's not very
Rollout
inviting.
courts.
You know, I don't know how you like shuffle people in there for an event and have a quality turnout. My guess is the majority of the turnout will simply be the amateurs that are there playing as well. But yeah, it seems like it's thrown together really quickly, which I guess they have to based on, this is their response. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But no, there's nobody I'm still talking with. I don't think there's anybody really still out there. I mean, I know there's some PPA players that aren't officially signed, and granted, we're still talking, not me personally, but MLP is talking with them, hoping, we can make them a better offer. But I don't think there's anyone really outstanding that we're worried about.
No, I think we're pretty comfortable at this moment.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can switch off this topic unless you guys have additional stuff on that.
I do not.
No?
No, I think
So-
good coverage.
So Travis, are you still playing PPA for the rest of the year?
I'm not playing Cincy just because I kind of wanted the dust to settle. I didn't really know what was happening. A lot of players were concerned that they weren't going to get their money, their prize money, their appearance fees, me included. But mostly it was just like I wanted to take a step back after all this happened and kind of just see where things land and then make my next. I don't really like playing in Cincinnati to begin with. It's not an easy flight. It's a beautiful facility, the tennis facility, but around there is, nothing like, oh my God, I can't wait to go and see the sights. There are no sights. So I wasn't exactly heartbroken to say, nah, I'll skip this one. So no, I will probably play a few more. Cincinnati was a last second decision that I don't think it's in my best interest, and I'll go from there. So I'm not playing Vegas either. Running a half marathon, excited about that.
Wow.
And then
Connor and I talked about that. One of the dumbest professional decisions for you this month.
okay. Anyways, so far my intuition's been pretty good. Yours not so good.
We'll put it out there. Should a pro player run a half marathon instead of playing an event?
Why would I go play Vegas?
Why would you run a half marathon?
Because it's fun and I enjoy my life.
Man, that's fun for you, huh?
Yeah, that's fun for me. Absolutely. And I don't even have partners for Vegas.
Is it good for your legs and your recovering knee?
Sure. I mean, if my knee is bad, I won't do it.
Are you running it or walking it?
I'm running it. But my leg will have to be fine.
What's
by
your
then,
time
of
on
course.
have you ever run a half marathon?
I've run 15 miles before.
What's your time going to be?
I have no fucking clue. However fast it ends up. I'm not worried about running it for time. I'm worried about the event and making it enjoyable.
All right.
I'm not there competing. I'm not fucking be like, all right, I'm gonna get this motherfucker to the side of me. No, I'm just gonna enjoy.
I'm just
myself.
curious to know how fast you can run a mile.
I have no idea. I don't
13
care.
times in a row.
And why would I go play Vegas?
No, it's not about playing Vegas. I think it's more of just more of the wear and tear on your body. It seems like a strange decision.
It'll be fine. Well, Graham, with all due respect, as much as I respect your athletic decision-making prowess, I'm going to trust my own judgment here.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Yeah.
So what is the next one then? If not Vegas, what was the next one?
Boca was one. Pictona was another. I don't mind the idea of just staying in Florida for a little while.
All right. So, Travis, you got some paddles you wanted to talk through?
Yeah.
You want to do
Did
that?
you bring them?
I didn't.
Of course not.
Oh,
Never
no.
mind.
I didn't know.
Next time.
I didn't know you wanted me to bring them all.
I think we had this conversation yesterday
I
twice.
thought you were saying it's like a joke, like the same thing as the Diescu thing.
What is the Diescu thing?
Never mind.
All right.
Yeah, we can do it next time.
Alrighty.
I'll bring all 12 paddles next time.
All right.
Talk
So we're
about
gonna look
how
forward to
wonderful-
a little paddle review next
Yeah.
time. All right. Cool. Maybe we'll give some of those away.
I didn't catch that.
Maybe we'll give some of those away. It's our next giveaway.
Yeah,
some
next
of the
giveaway.
some of the paddles you don't like.
That's fine.
Alrighty. Cool. Well, that's all the questions that we had.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was. We went through them all.
Nice.
I feel like we did a good coverage of the whole update on the tour. So, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Tennis sucks. We got 2 tennis players behind us. Little girl. I'm probably going to go warn her mother about the damages that this can do. I actually heard a great slogan yesterday by some guys that did something on the dink. Pickleball is like tennis, but fun. I thought that's really fucking good.
It could be on your
Pickleball
slogan.
is like tennis, but fun. So anyway, enjoy your pickleball, people. Stay off the tennis courts. There won't be many left, so it's like an archaic, dying game. If you want to play one more time, go ahead, but it's almost over.
Who's going to win the Open?
I mean, I only watch Carlos.
All right.
He's like the biggest man crush I think I've ever had is Carlos right now. Yeah, so that's my pick. It's here,
He's
Novak.
got sick drop shots.
He's got sick drop shots. All right, tennis
shot
sucks.
drops.
Enjoy, people. Thank you for listening. Graham, you pissed me off. Bye.